The fight question answer. In what way is the forest pool different from the one which Ranji knew in the Rajputana desert? The forest pool was very clean, cold, and inviting, whereas the one in Rajputana desert was known to be sticky and muddy, where buffaloes wellowed and women washed clothes. The other boy asked Ranji to explain himself. What did he expect Ranji to say? Was he, in your opinion, right or wrong, or ask this question? Answer. The other boy expected Ranji to apologize to him for entering the forest pool without seeking his permission. He wanted Ranji to leave the pool immediately. He was wrong to expect and ask Ranji to leave the pool because the forest pool was open to everyone and he did not have a personal right to the property. Between Ranji and the other boy who is trying to start a quarrel, give a reason for your answer. The other boy actually started the quarrel between him and Ranji. This is evident from the fact that when Ranji saw the other boy in the pool, he did not try to pick a fight or say a word to him. It was the other boy who deliberately came to fight with Ranji, even when he tried to be friendly with that boy. However, Ranji was taken aback by the hostile behavior of that boy, who strongly demanded that the pool belonged to him and that others needed to obtain his permission to use it. Soon after saying all this, he started a fight with Ranji and referred to himself as a warrior, to which Ranji replied that he himself was a fighter. Then we will have to continue the fight, said the other. What made him say that? Did the fight continue? If not, why not? When both Ranji and the other boy fought for a long while, Ranji refused to leave the pool and the fight continued. When that boy saw that Ranji did not accept defeat and was not listening to his words, he said that the fight between them would continue the following day. Apparently, the fight did not continue on the following days. Both of them had a bitter experience the previous day and were not willing to continue this fight any further. Although they thought they would continue fighting, neither of them took the initiative or interest to pick the fight again. When the other boy named Suraj saw that Ranji could dive into the water, he was amazed and asked him to teach him how to do it. Suraj promised that he would help Ranji to become a wrestler if he taught him how to swim and dive into water just like him. What is that Ranji finds difficult to explain at home? When Ranji reached home, he found it difficult to explain the cuts and bruises that showed on his face, leg, and arms. It was difficult to conceal the fact that he had been in an unusually violent fight with Suraj. Therefore, his mother insisted on him staying at home for the rest of the day. Ranji sees his adversary in the bazaar. What does he wish to do? What does he actually do and why? When Ranji saw his adversary in the bazaar, he tried to avoid him by turning away and looking elsewhere. He was so angry at that boy that he felt like throwing the lemonade bottle at his enemy. Ranji did not do anything. He just stood his ground and scowled at the passing adversary. He did not want to pick unnecessary fights with the other boy in the market. Even that boy said nothing either but scowled back with equal ferocity. Ranji is not at all eager for a second fight. Why does he go back to the pool then? Although Ranji was not at all eager for a second fight with the other boy, he left his home unwillingly. He remembered that he had accepted the challenge and he had to defy his enemy in order to gain respect. If he gave up this meant that he had acknowledged his defeat to the other boy. Who was the better swimmer? How do you know? Ranji was definitely a better swimmer. Suraj, the other boy, made fun of Ranji and asked if he would be able to swim across the pool. Hearing this, Ranji dived straight into the water and surfaced towards the other end of the pool quickly. Suraj was amazed at Ranji's fear and asked him how he did it so smoothly. He then asked Ranji to teach him how to dive and swim underwater and said that in return he would help Ranji to become a wrestler. What surprises the warrior? When Ranji dived into the water perfectly, Suraj was amazed to see this. Ranji was able to swim underwater as he circled Suraj and came up from behind him. This surprised Suraj and he admired Ranji's swimming skills. Now that they are at the pool, why don't they continue the fight? Although both the boys were at the pool together, they were not fighting with each other. Suraj the warrior was taken by surprise when he saw Ranji's skills like diving and swimming underwater. He wanted to learn these skills from Ranji. Ranji's superiority over the other boy is obvious in the following: physical strength, good diving, his being a fighter, sense of humor, swimming underwater, making a good point, willingness to help. Underline the relevant phrases: good diving, sense of humor, swimming underwater, willingness to help. What, according to you, makes the two adversaries turn into a good friends in a matter of minutes? Explain it as you have understood it. The two adversaries turned into good friends in a matter of minutes when they started admiring each other's skills and decided to learn those skills from each other. When the other boy Suraj saw how well Ranji dived and swam underwater, he almost forgot about the fight and asked Ranji to teach him these swimming skills. Suraj had a well built physique, and when he noticed that Ranji had a lean body structure, he said that he would help him to become a good wrestler if Ranji taught him swimming skills, to which Ranji readily agreed. Finally, the two claimants gave up their fight and became good friends. Is fighting the only way to resolve differences of opinion? What else can be done to reach a mutually acceptable settlement? Fighting is never the only way to resolve differences. Any differences between two parties or people can be resolved in a cool headed manner through discussion. Even if the difference of opinion continues, a middleman should try to resolve the conflict between the two parties peacefully. Have you ever been in a serious fight only to realize that it was unnecessary and futile? Yes, it is in human nature to pick a fight on minor issues sometimes. However, such fights and arguments can be resolved through discussions and respecting each other's opinion. Once both parties agree to resolve the conflict, they can do it peacefully without hurting each other's emotions and sentiments. Why do some of us find it necessary to prove that we are better than others? Will you be amused or annoyed to read the following sign at the back of the car in front of you? I may be going slow, but I am ahead of you. It is common in human nature when one person tries to pull down another by exhibiting one's superiority over the other person. We should avoid ego clashes and misunderstandings from creeping into our relationships with other people. In my opinion, I would be amused to read the sign I may be going slow but I am ahead of you and take it on a lighter note and laugh it off.